Have you ever engaged with someone who made you second-guess your reality? They didn't raise their voice. They didn't hurl insults. They simply posed questions. Calm, measured questions that eroded your certainty about what you felt, what you observed, even who you believe you are. That's the craft of manipulation. It cloaks itself in curiosity. A deceiver doesn't typically assault your truth head-on. They sow a seed of confusion and leave your own mind to harvest the rest. As Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "And once you begin to untangle the knots, they can never bind you again." In this video, we'll expose 8 questions liars use to warp your perception and how a Stoic attitude can shield your peace from emotional predators. Once you know the playbook, you'll stop being the prey. Comment below. The truth is simple. Deceit is tangled. I guard my peace with truth. Question 1. Why are you so sensitive? It starts innocuously. A sigh, a subtle smirk, a casually dropped line so effortless you barely sense the sting. Why are you so sensitive? They ask, feigning genuine concern. You pause. You wonder if you're really overreacting. Maybe you misunderstood. Perhaps the problem is you. That's how manipulation sneaks in, not with brute force, but through quiet distortion. The deceiver doesn't attack your mind directly. They coax you to attack yourself. This question may seem harmless, yet it's among the oldest emotional control tactics. It tells you your emotions are excessive, your reality unreliable. Once you begin to apologize for feeling something real, they've already won. You begin to edit your words, mute your intuition, doubt your memory. They shifted the power dynamic without raising a voice. And the moment you accept the label too sensitive, they don't have to argue, because you'll censor yourself for them. The truth. People who feel deeply are not fragile. They're awake. They pick up on tone, silence, energy shifts that others miss. Empathy gives them insight. Manipulators twist that insight into vulnerability. They exploit it because sensitivity threatens them. It exposes the tension they hide behind charm. That's why they joke when confronted. Relax, it was only a joke. But Stoicism offers a different view. Your emotions are not foes. They're messengers of truth. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, it is not the thing itself that troubles you, but your judgment about it." He wasn't telling you to crush your feelings. He was teaching you to interpret them. Feelings are data. They reveal when your boundaries are crossed. A Stoic won't reject emotion. They refine it. You can feel anger without being consumed by it. You can feel hurt without losing your clarity. So when someone says, "Why are you so sensitive?" Pause. Neither react nor defend. Breathe. Observe. Ask, why does my feeling threaten them? Often it's because your awareness shines a light on behavior they'd rather keep hidden. A manipulator's greatest fear is being seen. That's why they minimize, deflect, project. For truth burns. Try this. Each time someone questions your reaction, jot down their exact words and the emotion that rose in you. No analysis, just record. Over days or weeks, patterns emerge. You'll realize the issue wasn't your sensitivity. It was their discomfort with accountability. Stoicism calls this self-examination, turning emotion into evidence. As Seneca wrote, "No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity, for he is not permitted to prove himself." To feel deeply in a shallow world isn't a curse. It's proof you're still human when many have gone numb. The Stoic Path isn't about annihilating emotion. It's about mastering perception. You learn to hold your fire without losing your flame. So when someone leans in and says, "Why are you so sensitive?" Don't shrink. Don't apologize. Look them in the eye. Breathe. Let this truth hold you. You are not sensitive, you are perceptive. You see what others choose to ignore, and that's why liars fear you. Question 2. Are you sure that really happened? They tilt their head, a faint smile, and drop this question like a calm bomb. Are you sure that really happened? The words sound innocent, but the effect is precise. Suddenly, your clear memory blurs. You replay the moment. Argument, betrayal, lie, yet doubt creeps in. Maybe you remembered wrong. Maybe you exaggerated. That's how gaslighting begins, not by denial, but by suggestion. A skilled manipulator doesn't erase your truth. They only invite you to doubt it. This is psychological warfare disguised as conversation. It's not about clearing fog, it's about creating it. When they pose that question, what they're actually saying is, "Let me rewrite your story." And once you allow them to edit your memory, you will start depending on them to define reality. That is how emotional control tightens its grip. One innocent-looking question at a time. Stoicism teaches that perception is the first battlefield of the mind. Epictetus once said, "We suffer not from events, but from our judgment about them." The liar understands this better than most. They know if they can shift your judgment, they don't need to change the event. Your mind will do the rest. That's why Stoic awareness is a shield. It trains you to separate what truly happened from the story someone wants you to believe. Think. Truth doesn't fade. Confusion does. If someone truly cares for you, they'll guide you toward clarity, not fog. They won't question your whole perception. They'll ask for understanding. A manipulator, on the other hand, thrives on ambiguity. They plan their question, wait for you to spiral, then step in as the reasonable one. It's a performance, and you've been cast as the unreliable narrator. The Stoics believed journaling to be sacred, a way to preserve truth against distortion. Marcus Aurelius's Meditations wasn't written for the world. It was his own record of reality, thoughts, observations, battles with self-deception. You can do the same. Each time someone makes you doubt what happened, take your pen and ask, what did I see? What did I feel? What did I know for sure? That is your reality journal. This isn't therapy, it's training. When you write truth, you anchor it. Modern manipulators depend on one thing, your silence. If they can make you doubt your memory, they can rewrite it. But when you document reality, you reclaim power. Over time, you'll see the same people always question your perception because they fear accountability. Stoicism reminds you that memory isn't weakness, it's moral responsibility. Seneca wrote, "The truth is not lost, it is abandoned. Don't abandon yours. You saw what you saw, you felt what you felt, you know what you know." Next time someone asks, "Are you sure that really happened?" Don't argue, don't explain, just smile and remember this. Clarity is your armor. Write it down before they rewrite it. Question 3. Don't you trust me? One of the most manipulative questions ever dressed in vulnerability. Don't you trust me? It sounds intimate, innocent, even heartfelt, but beneath it lies a trap crafted to make you feel guilty for protecting yourself. The moment you hesitate, they've won, because what they're actually saying is, prove your loyalty by ignoring your instincts, and once you do it once, I'll use it forever. This question is emotional blackmail disguised as affection. It converts the sacred bond of trust into a weapon. You start feeling obligated to reassure them, to the point where distrusting them makes you the bad person. But that's not how real trust functions. Genuine trust is earned through consistency, not demanded. Real trust is shown through actions, not declarations. When someone has to insist you trust them, it usually means they've already broken trust. Manipulators use this line when their story doesn't add up, when timelines shift, when explanations falter, when something inside you whispers, "This isn't right." Instead of addressing facts, they appeal to your emotions. They rely on your kindness, your need for harmony. They weaponize your empathy against your logic. The Stoics would call this moral blindness, when emotion clouds judgment. Seneca wrote, "Confidence is born from character, not persuasion. You don't earn trust by asking for it. You earn it by being worthy of it." A Stoic doesn't hand out blind faith. He observes, measures, waits for alignment between word and deed. Epictetus warned that misplaced trust isn't kindness, it's self-neglect. So next time someone asks, "Don't you trust me?" Pause. Breathe. Notice what your body is telling you. Tightness in the chest, that small hesitation. These are not signs of paranoia, they're signals of wisdom. Stoicism teaches that your intuition, when disciplined by reason, is an ally. Trust should never mute awareness, it should reinforce it. If you want to practice Stoic discernment, try this ritual. For each person in your life, jot down 3 things: what they say, what they do, and what remains consistent over time. That is your personal trust ledger. Review it every few weeks. You'll be amazed how patterns emerge when emotion no longer clouds the page. Manipulators hate written clarity because it exposes what their charm conceals. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." If you constantly color your thoughts with guilt for protecting yourself, you'll live trapped in other people's expectations. But when you color them with truth and self-respect, you reclaim your power to see things as they are. Trust isn't a gift to be handed to anyone who asks. It's a mirror reflecting the truth of their behavior. And sometimes the most stoic act of love is letting go of someone who keeps demanding what they've never earned, so when someone looks at you and says, "Don't you trust me?" you can finally answer silently, "I trust patterns, not promises." Question 4. Why would I lie to you? How could I ever lie to you? The tone wounded, almost outraged, as if the idea of their deceit is absurd. But that's exactly the point. The question isn't asked to clear suspicion, it's designed to shame you for having it. You were about to confront something that didn't make sense, but now you hesitate for fear of seeming paranoid or unfair. They flipped the script. You go from questioning them to questioning yourself. This is one of the oldest manipulation techniques in human psychology, the illusion of moral credibility. When someone says, "Why would I lie to you?" they're implying they're too virtuous, too loyal, too loving to ever deceive you. And yet, that statement alone should make you cautious. Honest people rarely need to declare their honesty, they simply live it. Liars understand human guilt better than anyone. They know most would rather believe a comfortable lie than face a painful truth. So they hide behind your kindness, your desire for harmony, your need to believe in others. Stoicism calls this emotional weakness, the tendency to mistake hope for evidence. Marcus Aurelius warned, if someone deceives you, it is because you chose to trust your hope instead of your reason. A Stoic mind doesn't demand proof through words. It watches for patterns through time. For lies are temporal, but inconsistency is constant. Look closely. The person who vows they could never lie often avoids specifics, will not meet your eyes, turns details into jokes. That's not confusion, it's strategy. They're not trying to earn your trust, they're managing your doubt. In those moments, your best tool isn't confrontation, it's observation. Don't argue to prove they're lying, let time do it for you. Stoicism teaches that truth requires no defense. When someone's actions contradict their words, you don't need to fight for clarity. You just need to stay silent long enough to witness their narrative collapse. Silence in this case isn't surrender, it's power. Here's a Stoic exercise. For the next 7 days, resist the itch to correct every inconsistency you notice. Instead, write them down. Note the moments when their words and actions don't align. By the week's end, you'll hold a mirror, not of their stories, but of their character. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Epictetus wrote, "The wise man never fears the truth." Remember, a liar fears truth because it removes their control. They rely on your confusion. They count on your need for reassurance. But when you stay grounded, calm, watchful, their performance falls apart. So next time someone looks at you and asks, "Why would I lie to you?" do not explain, do not defend, and do not rush to believe. Instead, pause, look into their eyes, and let silence speak. Because the Stoic answer is simple. Words can charm, but patterns never lie. Question 5. Why can't you just move on? This always comes after the damage is done, after they've lied, betrayed, walked away without owning their choices. Then they return, calm, with one sentence sharp enough to reopen the wound. Why can't you just move on? It sounds reasonable, mature, even wise. But beneath the mask, it's cruelty disguised as logic. What they're really saying, why can't you forget what I did so I can stop feeling guilty? This question isn't about your healing. It's about their comfort. It's not a plea for closure. It's a demand for silence. And it works because it manipulates the part of you that wants to appear composed. You feel weak for still caring, ashamed for still hurting, guilty for still remembering. They shift the moral weight from their wrongdoing onto your recovery. But Stoicism casts pain differently. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "What stands in the way becomes the way." Pain isn't something to avoid. It's the process of becoming. To move on too soon is to bury a wound alive. The Stoic doesn't flee discomfort. They study it. They look at the scar and ask, what truth lies here? Because truth once seen sets you free, but truth denied will enslave you forever. Modern culture claims healing means forgetting. Stoicism says the opposite. Healing means remembering without resentment. You don't move on by pretending it never happened. You move forward by integrating what happened into your wisdom. The wound becomes your teacher, not your cage. That's the difference between suppression and transcendence. So next time someone says, "Why can't you just move on?" ask yourself, who benefits from my forgetting? Often it's the person who wronged you. They want closure without consequence, peace without repair. But peace built on denial isn't peace, it's anesthesia. The Stoic Path refuses this illusion. Seneca wrote, "What need is there to weep over parts of life? The whole of it calls for tears." He wasn't celebrating pain, he was honoring honesty. Here's a ritual. Write a closure letter, not to send, but to release. Write everything you held in, everything they silenced, everything you downplayed, then burn it, not to erase the memory, but to transform it. Fire doesn't destroy truth, it purifies it. When the smoke rises, let it carry away the need for their apology. You don't need permission to heal. A Stoic heals not by denial, but by digestion, absorbing the lesson without the poison. When you stop waiting for closure from the one who hurt you, you give closure to yourself, and when they come back with their question, "Why can't you just move on?" you'll no longer defend your healing. You'll simply breathe, stand grounded, and remember, you owe no one your peace. You owe yourself your truth. Question 6. Why are you making this about you? This one strikes at your self-respect. You finally speak your truth. You say, "That hurt," or "I didn't deserve that." And they look at you with a mixture of disbelief and pity and ask, "Why are you making this about you?" Suddenly, your attempt at honesty becomes selfishness. The spotlight shifts. You're no longer talking about what they did, you're defending why you spoke at all. It's a classic manipulation move, role inversion. They flip the emotional script, make you question your right to express pain. By framing your boundary as ego, they get to stay comfortable in their wrongdoing. This maneuver works especially well on kind, self-aware people, those who already analyze their feelings and fear being too much. The manipulator exploits that fear like a lever. They know if they can make you feel guilty for speaking up, you'll choose silence next time. But Stoicism clarifies something important. Self-awareness is not self-absorption. There's a difference between making everything about you and taking responsibility for your internal world. Epictetus once said, "First tell yourself what kind of person you want to be." The Stoic examines himself, not to orbit the universe around him, but to govern his reactions no matter how others behave. That's not ego, it's discipline. When someone asks, "Why are you making this about you?" what they're really doing is defending their illusion. They want the conversation to revolve around your tone, your timing, your delivery, anything but their actions. They hope you'll get lost defending your intention while they skate free. Don't play that game. The Stoic response is calm observation, not emotional defense. Here's a technique. When someone accuses you of selfishness, mentally ask yourself 3 questions. Am I seeking truth or attention? Am I stating facts or assigning blame? Does my intention align with my values? If the answer is yes, stay grounded. Don't over-explain. Don't negotiate your sincerity. Your peace doesn't depend on their approval. You can even use a Stoic mantra in that moment. It's about me because I'm responsible for me. That sentence is your shield. It reminds you that self-respect isn't arrogance, it's stewardship. You are the guardian of your mind, your boundaries, your energy. If you don't make your inner world your concern, someone else will, and they'll weaponize it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "When you blame others, you give away your power." The reverse is true. When others blame you for speaking truth, they reveal their fear of losing power. Remember, people at peace with themselves don't need to gaslight you for setting boundaries. So next time someone says, "Why are you making this about you?" don't shrink back or argue. Breathe deeply, meet their gaze, and let silence do the work. Because the Stoic knows, awareness is not ego, it's integrity, and integrity needs no permission. Question 7. Do you really think you're perfect? This one comes when you finally hold someone accountable. You point out a lie, a contradiction, a pattern, and instead of reflection, they smirk and ask, "Do you really think you're perfect?" The question lands like a slap, disguised as civility. It isn't curiosity, it's attack. It shifts the moral weight off them and drops it on you. Suddenly, you're not talking about what they did, you're defending your right to speak at all. This is moral deflection. How manipulators neutralize truth without denying it, by painting you as self-righteous. They force you into silence. You start explaining, softening, apologizing for your tone. You rush to prove you're humble, and in doing so, you abandon your clarity. That's exactly what they want. They weaponize your integrity against you. But Stoicism offers a deeper insight. Humility doesn't mean silence in the face of falsehood. Seneca wrote, "He who corrects others should first correct himself, but he should still speak." Notice the balance. The Stoic begins with self-examination. but does not end with it. To see wrong and say nothing isn't humility, it's fear disguised as virtue. The wise man seeks truth, not approval. When someone asks, "Do you really think you're perfect?" what they're actually doing is trying to equalize guilt. If they can make you feel just as flawed, then no one has to change. They know good people often overtake responsibility. You'll start thinking, maybe I was harsh, maybe I could have said it better. But clarity doesn't require perfection. It only requires honesty. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "If anyone can show me I'm wrong, I'll gladly change, for I seek truth which never harmed anyone." That's the Stoic posture, open to correction, but immune to manipulation. You can admit your imperfection without surrendering your truth. The key is intention. Are you speaking to punish or to reveal? If your intention is rooted in integrity, then stand firm. Try this exercise. Next time they accuse you of thinking you're perfect, don't argue. Instead, simply say, "No, I just think what happened deserves honesty." That single sentence resets the frame. It brings the focus back to the issue, not the ego. Stoicism teaches that control of tone is control of power. When you remain steady while they escalate, you expose their avoidance. The manipulator thrives on guilt, but guilt only controls you if you accept it. The Stoic knows truth doesn't need to be loud to be strong. It doesn't need to humiliate to illuminate. It just stands, quiet and unshakable. Seneca once said, "To be calm in correction is a sign of greatness." So next time someone sneers, "Do you really think you're perfect?" take a breath. Let compassion replace anger. Remind yourself, I don't need to be perfect to tell the truth. I just need to be brave enough to see it. The Stoic Shield: How to Disarm Manipulation. By now, you'll probably recognize the pattern. Every question a manipulator asks, "Why are you so sensitive? Are you sure that really happened? Don't you trust me?" They all serve one goal: make you doubt yourself. The liar doesn't need to rewrite reality. They only need to make you rewrite your own mind. Once you question your perception, your feelings, your memory, they've won. The battlefield isn't the argument. It's your awareness. That's where the Stoic must stand guard. Manipulators operate through emotional distortion. They take your virtues, empathy, patience, understanding, and invert them into your vulnerabilities. They speak in circles, twist context, hide behind tone. Their objective: confusion, because a confused mind is a controllable mind. But Stoicism grants you what they cannot predict: clarity. It's not about fighting louder or winning arguments. It's about remaining still when they expect you to fall. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike your enemy." To disarm a manipulator, you don't become colder, you become clearer. You stop reacting and start observing. You refuse to play their game because you've seen it. That awareness is your first shield. Once you recognize manipulation, not as a reflection of your worth, but as a projection of their fear, you stop absorbing it. Their tactics lose oxygen when you withdraw your reaction. A still mind diminishes the illusion. They'll call you distant, cold, detached. Let them. A Stoic doesn't explain his peace, he embodies it. Seneca said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Mastery doesn't mean apathy, it means choosing what deserves your energy. The Stoic shield isn't arrogance, it's self-respect. It's the quiet confidence of someone who refuses to be rewritten by another's chaos. So when the manipulator asks their clever questions, smile softly. You've heard them all before. You know the rhythm, the strategy, their need for control. But you have built your shield. You've turned awareness into armor and peace into power. And when they realize they can no longer disturb your mind, they'll fall silent. Not because you defeated them, but because you stopped playing. Your calm mind terrifies the manipulator. And that is your victory. Every manipulator fears one thing, your awareness. Because once you see the game, it ends. They can twist words, fake emotions, rewrite stories, but they cannot control a mind anchored in truth. The Stoics knew this centuries ago. Peace isn't found in others' silence. It is found in mastery of self. You don't need to shout your truth. You just need to live it. You don't need revenge. Your clarity is revenge. So as you leave this lesson, remember, your emotions aren't weakness. Your memory isn't madness. And your boundaries aren't cruelty. They are proof you've awakened. A calm mind grounded in reason and virtue is untouchable. Comment below, I see through manipulation. I choose peace over confusion. Because in the end, you don't fight liars with anger, you defeat them with awareness. And awareness, my friend, is the ultimate Stoic weapon. Your awareness doesn't need to shout. It doesn't beg to be believed. It simply sees. It sees the tactics hidden in innocent questions. It hears the subtle shift in tone when truth gets close. It feels the tension in silence, in smirks, in carefully chosen words, and it refuses to be gaslit into forgetting. Because the Stoic knows something the manipulator never will. Self-mastery is not a lack of feeling. It's the full ownership of what you feel and the decision to stand calmly in the storm. This is not about pride. It's about sovereignty. It's not about winning arguments. It's about not needing them. When a liar seeks control, what they fear most is the person who won't react, who won't chase, won't justify, won't spiral. They fear the person who simply watches, who observes the pattern, who holds their ground, who sees through the game and walks away from the board. That's your final shield. Not silence born from fear, but silence born from clarity. Not detachment out of pain, but detachment out of principle. Not coldness, but calm. Not revenge, but alignment. A final Stoic mantra to carry forward. No one can disturb my mind unless I hand them the keys. And you don't hand them the keys, not anymore. If this message spoke to your inner strength, comment below, I guard my mind. I protect my peace. I live with clarity. Then share this video with someone who's learning to stand tall in their truth. And if you're new to this channel, subscribe for more Stoic wisdom, modern truths, and the emotional armor to navigate manipulation in any form. And remember, you don't have to raise your voice to raise your standards. You don't have to attack to assert your truth. And you never need to explain your boundaries to those who were never meant to cross them. You are calm, you are clear, you are free. That's the Stoic way. Stoic Fortuna.